What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's match preview time. There's transfer news to talk about, and Daniel Farke versus the TV broadcasters. Love it, love it. It was quite action-packed today in that press conference, which was quite refreshing. Again, we've had another spicy one, and we'll talk about Sinisterra's departure too. And of course, we have a game on the weekend. Let's not forget that at the Fortress Elland Road. So listen, people, before I continue, you know the drill. Please like the video. Algorithm. It's very important for creators that you like the video, subscribe, and of course, drop your comments and score predictions in the comment section below. Chrissy is just asking here, how comes your videos always start 30 seconds in when they are live? Is it just me? Could be something to do with maybe the ad at the start or YouTube. I don't know. They've changed something recently in terms of algorithm things and things like that. I don't know. I just try and keep up with it, but yeah, hopefully you're watching the stream okay. Yeah, Darren, it was another lecture from Farke. Yeah, man, it was almost clap like, in the way of talking about the fixtures. Although I would say that, because I did bring up the fixtures before on the previous stream, and I think he's got a little bit of a point, but it's something that we've always said, and he repeated it many times today, that broadcasters, especially when we're in this division, want to see Leeds United on the TV. I think he said that we've been on 18 times or something like that. It's not a coincidence. We're a big draw in this division. We're a big draw in the Premier League. I mean, it goes without saying. So Championship, they're always going to find a way to put on a Leeds United game. Afternoon, Enzio, and afternoon to everyone. Listen, we got a little bit to cover, so let's go into it. And listen, we're talking about Daniel Farke, who is your recent manager of the month. Now, I know some people don't care about that kind of stuff, but it's a good award to win, especially when you've got teams like Southampton that are unbeaten in however many games, and it just goes to show you just how strong the January was for Leeds United in the league, and just to get up the numbers. 4 matches, won 4, goals 9, conceded 1, clean sheets 3, points 12 out of 12. Can't ask for much more than that, right? So and listen, for Chris King and any of the other ones that speak about Farke tactically, it's not that kind of award. It's just basically a numbers thing of your points total and probably going unbeaten as well. So listen, congratulations to him. And he did say that it's a team trophy, because obviously if you're doing well as a manager, it means your team's doing well. So he's happy for him, the staff, and everyone else. So there you go. David here, at least he might rotate the squad more. Listen, we'll go there in just a moment. Let's just quickly touch upon Sinisterra's exit. Obviously, that was been talked about for a few days now, that we've been looking. Actually, it was talked about as the transfer window was closing, and I know a couple of you thought that why couldn't we get it done in January, but quite obvious it's to do with financials. Maybe Bournemouth needed to do it come the summer, and I don't think Leeds United mind. I think it's more of a case for me with these players, because I get asked about these players a lot. Do I want any of them back? The answer to that is absolutely no, to none of them. I don't want any of them back, and that includes Sinisterra, who I rate highly. I don't want any of them back, and it's nothing to do with that whole thing of you turn your back on Leeds thing. I just don't see the point of bringing any of those players back. When I look at those players, I don't think they improve anybody that we've got right now. Sinisterra, yes, because I will say this about Sinisterra. If he was here, we definitely have a few more goals. And Farke touched on that today. He says if we could just make the scores a bit easier on ourselves, be a bit more clinical in front of goal, we would be in a much better spot in terms of goals scored. And that's quite obvious. But he was that, and you can't listen. You can erase a lot of things about Sinisterra, but he was that kind of player that will give you something out of nothing. Just drop the shoulder, hit it with his right foot. It's going in the bottom corner. And that's what he is good at. And that's why he wanted to get back to the Premier League. And I don't blame him for that. I just don't want any of these back. I cannot imagine any of these players coming back in, and they've got a stink on them for me. The last Premier League, 2 campaigns, they sucked. Let's not sugarcoat it. They sucked, and a lot of them were hiding. A lot of them weren't good enough. They weren't good enough to play. That's why we got relegated. So I don't want to see any of them back. So my thought on it is we've got Sinisterra out the door, and it's approximately for the fee that we paid for him. So we haven't lost too much, although we haven't made a big profit on him like we could have done if we had got more out of him, because he had that potential. Again, people trying to raise his abilities and stuff. He had that potential to be a 40-50 million pound player, when he stays fit. But we've got recouped the money. It now gives us a little bit of a pot to play with in the summer, and hopefully it can, secure the sign of a Joe Rodon or someone like that. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Um, Michael here saying, KG, I smell something funny about the Cine deal. I reckon he's sold on for profit by the Cherries. Well, if he is sold on by Bournemouth for a profit, that's on them, isn't it? That's because they've done the business. He's probably going to play more for them in the top league. Bournemouth are not getting relegated. They're doing quite well now, as predicted. So if they sell him on for a profit, so be it. Look, Calvin Phillips, we got, what was it, 44 million for him on our part, and look how good he was for us. Man City basically played him for a total maybe of 10 matches, and probably being generous with that, and they're going to recoup around 40 million back for Calvin. You know, it deals are different to every club, and right now we're in the Championship, so recouping the money on him is a good thing. Yeah, Darren here. Don't want any of them back, especially Harrison. I mean, the Harrison one is the one that worries me the most, because there's still fans that think that it's good old sweet little innocent Jack Harrison, when he was another one that knowingly put that loan release clause in his contract when it was time to sign a new deal, when really he should have been sold to Leicester for 25, and I'll stand by that forever. So yeah, I want to see him next. I want to see other ones, Aronson especially. I need, these guys have all got to go. All of them have got to go, and I hope that the 49ers and Leeds United are making moves to do so, because I just don't see the benefit of any of them having back. And listen, Everton fans are seeing it themselves with Jack Harrison. They're like, he can be so good sometimes, but then he goes missing. It's like, yeah. It's a common thing, Everton fans. Yeah, we should have sold him last year. Yeah, and look, I'm on video. You know, I'm not doing this in hindsight. I said at the time, go back to he signs a new 5-year deal. I was thinking, yeah, he's in form now, but can he keep it up for the rest of the season? The answer was no. He disappeared yet again. Just a waste of time. Just a waste of time, man. Darren here saying Aronson too, not good enough of him, get rid. Yeah, and listen, and you talk about Cine here, who's probably the highest level of talent, natural talent in all of the group. I didn't want him back. For me, there's no, once you threaten legal action with a club, I don't know if you can come back from that. You know, you've seen how hard it's been for Willie Nanto to come back from even going on strike and having his apology accepted by the team and everyone else. It's been hard for him to come back. So someone actually threatening to sue the club, yeah, it's not happening, mate. So yeah, see you later, Sinisterra. And just to show, I mean, Leeds United's stats on Luis Sinisterra. Let me get this up. I mean, it's very brief, short and sweet. Luis Sinisterra completes Bournemouth transfer. There we go. No wish you well in your future endeavors. No thanks for your efforts or nothing like that. Just, you can go. There you are. So there you are. And of course, you know, I rate this. Listen, and you would rate it too if it was on our end. So I've got to show it. Bournemouth here with a tweet there. He's happy here, and that just goes from all the, you know, the rumors, everything. Luis Sinisterra, he's not happy here. He's not happy here. He wants to go back to Leeds, which I just, when you guys were asked about, I was like, why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. And Bournemouth just playing into that and leaning into it and just saying he's happy here with a smile. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, Enzio, I think Farke essentially said that with the microwave comment. Yeah, I didn't quite get the comment, but I think I know along the lines he was going through. But yeah, here it is. Farke on Sinisterra's permanent exit. Am I sharing the tab? I'm not sharing the tab. Look at me. Look at that. Okay, here we are. Farke on Sinisterra's permanent exit. Overall, it's a good decision and beneficial for our future. I never made a secret that I really rate Lewis from a football point of view, and he also said a great person as well. We wish him all the best. He also made it clear in the summer that he wanted his move, just like many of them did. Said it was hard to reintegrate Sinisterra in August once he made it clear he wanted to leave. As we say in Germany, when you put food in the microwave, it never tastes as if it's fresh. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he's talking about leftovers, yeah. But it just shows you the difference as well, people. He said there that it was hard to reintegrate Sinisterra in August. But Nanto also had that same issue as well, didn't he? So it just shows you that there's different levels of players that are really doing their best to try and leave. Yes, Nanto took the action to go on strike, which I think was agent led, but he still had to do it, which I'm sure, again, I said it before, say it again, in a couple of years, I think he may regret, maybe even regrets it now. But it just shows you that Sinisterra was at the point of no return and that there was just no chance of bringing him back in. So it's just different things. What one person wanting to leave looks like for one, looks completely different to another that wants to leave. Yeah, Seastone. That old German saying. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with that one, but maybe it is common in German. Chris here is saying, one thing I can't understand, undisclosed fee. I think there should always be more clarity around it. Every team, every deal, no more undisclosed. Yeah, I mean that's football in general, isn't it? Unless it's like a Real Madrid who love to flex when they've, broken a record or something like that. In general, especially in England as well, people don't usually like disclosing their wages or things like that. I think it's a real British thing because when you look at NFL, NHL, NBA, we know what all the athletes are earning. We know all their salaries. We know what the team salary cap is. It's very different, isn't it? But I don't think football will ever do that unless they have to. So yeah, but look, at least from everyone who's reliable, they've said that Leeds have at least recouped the fee we've paid for him. Because I know people think it was 24, but I think that was after add-ons and everything else like that, and we don't know if he even reached those add-ons. So at least we've recouped the money back, and we can now put it forward into a team that wants to be here. And that Daniel Farke sees in his mold as well. John here saying last night's kebab ain't bad in the microwave. You know what's not bad? Yeah, actually, you know what? I tell a lie because I don't actually warm it back up. But day after pizza, cold pizza, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Farker obviously has on Mumtaz curry. Listen, it must be a German thing. Mike Adams here. Good afternoon, KG. Just about finished drying out all my clothes from Tuesday night. Yeah, it was mad, wasn't it? Look, I don't know where it is in your region in England if you're watching from England, but we've recently had snow where I am, and they closed the schools early, they closed the shops early. It's all mad. I mean, but people in Canada must be thinking, what are they? What's the panic over there? What's the panic? Let me see here. Radaby leads with a super chat. Thank you so. Oh man, you know what? I've forgotten the super thanks on the last video. That seriously should be much more on it than that. Let me just say this. Mr. P, Russ, and Karen Curtin for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. Radaby leads here with the super chat. Sydney could have been good for us if it wasn't for injuries and that red card versus Villa, but glad he's gone, clearly not wanting to be here. Yeah, I've always said this as well. I don't understand when people want to keep players that don't want to be at your football club. Doesn't matter their level of talent or what have you. I just don't get the point. It doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't do the player any good. It doesn't do the team harmony any good. So it's always best for me that the club finds a solution that suits all parties and get that player gone, and then get a player that wants to be here. It's just like the way that we sign players. We've signed players that have obviously left their clubs. Even look at Glenn Kamara, wasn't having his happiest time at Rangers. We've stepped in and got a solution there where he wants to be here. Joel Peru was looking to leave Swansea. We've taken him off their hands when they would have probably liked to have kept him. But if they kept him while he was unhappy, what's the point? So it works in all ways, and I just don't get when people want to keep players that wanted to leave now, and I certainly don't get if we get promoted, all of a sudden these players come back off on loan. Jack Harrison or Brendan Aronson, whoever else has left and gone, says, you know what, I want to give another shot with Leeds in the Prem. Excuse me, I don't think so, mate. Off you go, man. Off you go. And if we are going to go, and by the way, if we are going to go with those players again, we're going to be in for another relegation battle, and it's as simple as that. So I'm hoping that the club will realize that and say, nah, see you later, mate. No. John here saying, looks like Poveda. I can't believe we still talk about Poveda, but look, has dropped a clanger by asking for more football time. Leeds were going to give him a new deal. They weren't giving him a new deal. Daniel Farke said it in the last press conference before this one. He said that they were hesitant about giving him a new contract, which then left Poveda up in the air. So he wanted to know where he'd be. So there you go with Poveda. Yeah, it would be shameless. But you know what, Darren? It's football, and you wouldn't be surprised, would you, if that happened? Imagine that, Jack Harrison. Oh, I always wanted Leeds to be back in the Prem. I was watching all their results, and I'm glad they're back, and now we can give it another go. Man, if you don't get out of here, if you don't get out of it, hey, listen. Sub here. Listen, there wasn't no attitude with Sinisterra. It was the fact that he wanted to play at a higher level. I mean, it's as simple as that. Danny Farke even said so himself. He was a good player and a good person, but he didn't want to be in the championship, which nobody does, people. I keep telling you that. You guys don't believe me how much football players will try and avoid playing in this league. You know what I mean? Let's have a look. What's next? What's next on the docket? Let's move. Sinisterra, man of the match, lovely. Connor Roberts, or as some of you tried to refer to him in the last stream, CR, which is unbelievable. Connor Roberts has only been able to have one full training session because of the busy fixture list, but he's in contention for the first time. James has improved, but not ready, so no Dan James for this game. Shackleton is still to train after illness. Strauch obviously absent again. So yeah, here we are. This is the main bit, wasn't it? This is the bit of the Darlow is coming back. Who cares? All right, man. All right, man. Cool. But then we get into the TV fixtures, yeah. Jonathan, yeah. KG to negotiate the loan player exit, no messing about. Yes, if I was negotiating, man, there would be hardly any fan favorites left, man. I want ability at this football club, but yeah, I just think you have to be ruthless like that, and I hope the 49ers are the same come the summertime, because we will need to replenish funds. And don't forget as well, our parachute. Let's just say we don't go up, which I'm not even thinking about this time. But if we don't go up, the parachute payments reduce, the P&S kind of closes in a bit more as well from what we've been able to do this summer, or last summer, I should say. So we're going to need to recuperate as much money as possible. But yeah, Daniel Farke then went on a it was quite lengthy tirade about the fixture list coming up, because let me just read the comments and then I'll show you the fixtures. This is in the crunch time of the season. I would never complain if it was the same for all teams. I don't blame the broadcasters, but there must be someone who judges the bigger picture. We have these mental health awareness days, well-being of staff, players, but when it comes down to business, it doesn't matter. I'm struggling to understand this. When every point counts, we have to play 4 games in 10 days. I'm not sure if this is fair play. I like that we are attractive as a club, but in the future, we need some obvious decisions. Yeah, he said as well in that it wasn't about being smart. It was just about being obvious. He was basically just saying, look, what are you playing at? And what he's talking about is this here. So we have that game. Obviously, this is going to be a huge game anyway with Leicester, but he's not really talking about this one, I don't think. 5 days in between, but let's just knock it in there. We have a big game on the Friday night versus Leicester, so that one's of course, as we know, was moved. Then in the midweek we have Chelsea away in the evening, so that's a late kickoff. But then we also then go away a couple days later to Huddersfield for an early kickoff. So he's talking about this being four away games, 4 games, and 3 of them are away. We then have Stoke City, a game which has been moved. So we're talking about an evening kickoff for that on the 5th of March. And then another one that has just recently been moved, people, the Sheffield Wednesday on a Friday night. And I remember being at that one on the Friday night, you know the one, that famous one. The Chris Kirkland game, if you remember that. I was there on that night. And I tell you, that atmosphere, it was hot in that stadium. Like, it was boiling. There was seats being thrown. The tram after was an absolute mazza. It was crazy on that tram. Like, Sheffield Wednesday fans wanted to fight that day. Let me tell you, it was mad. But yeah, he's talking about this. And yeah, Allison, we need to be rotating the squad. And that's what he said. He said, essentially, we will have to rotate because you can't expect the best players to play in 90 minutes, 4 games, and be on top performances. And that is correct with such little turnaround time. But he's also just talking about, okay, you want to move the match, but why Friday? Why not move it to Sunday? And he's absolutely right with that. But we always know with this that it's about money, it's about TV. And I've told you already many times, when it's Leeds United, they want us on TV. They want us there. I did find it funny, though. I did find it funny that he mentioned everything to do with the club, but he didn't really give consideration to fans until it was brought up. I think one of the reporters then asked him about fans having to change their travel arrangements. That was last on his mind. But then I understand that from a football manager's point of view, there's just too much money to be considered. The stakes that are on the line in terms of this club being promoted are huge. So he's going to look at it from that point of view. So I wouldn't hold that against him that he didn't mention the fans' travel. I think that would probably go without saying, but he's just talking about the players' well-being in terms of their fitness, being ready game to game. And when you look at the fixtures as well, they're all pretty tough. They're all pretty tough. You're talking about high energy, emotion fixtures here. There's not like a with all due respect, there's not like a Plymouth in there. Sheffield Wednesday away is going to be highly charged. It always is, no matter where they are in the table. So I completely understood it. Yeah, Alison, that's a point as well. Fixtures for TV haven't been selected for Millwall game. Yeah, I mean, look, as we sit looking on the screen there, it's currently 3:00. But what are the chances that Leeds Millwall kicks off at 3:00? Michael here saying more time for Anthony, Gelhart, and Joseph. Yeah, and that's another thing he said in regards to team selection. He was asked, with everyone performing so well against Plymouth, will that have an impact on this team selection? He said, absolutely not. And I rate that. I actually do rate that a lot. In that he's saying it doesn't make a difference. It just means that when we do get this cluster of fixtures, which he alluded to, that it means that we got players that will be able to step in when other players need rest. So completely understood that. And yeah, and Tintin, this was he did mention this. I mean, he repeated this about 20 times in this one, but he did say he's not complaining from a monetary point of view. They get very well paid, you know, they're very comfortable lifestyles, great lifestyles, but he's just talking about more the fitness aspect of it. But yeah, so yeah, you are looking at a real tight turnaround in fixtures here, in all fairness. But as he said, it's only because we're being successful. It's because we've moved on in the FA Cup why this fixture pileup has even happened. But you would just hope that common sense is being used. So I do find it a little different from Jurgen Klopp, who just basically hates the 12:30 kickoffs. You know, he is looking at more there's evening fixtures here when they don't have to be, and he is correct in that. But hopefully, David Gray, Roden will be knackered. Yeah, listen, we're gonna. You see, if you were gonna rest Roden, it would have been in that Plymouth away game for Cresswell. You cannot take Roden out of the Chelsea away. No chance. No chance. We've got to play the strongest team possible against Chelsea. Listen, Chelsea are a bit indifferent this year, but the fact is they've still got really good players playing in the Premier League, much higher level than what we're doing. So they're heavy favorites in that game. And I think it's deluded to think otherwise. But we're going to have to play our best team in that game. But look, we're not talking about that game yet. We do have a little game against Rotherham coming up in the midst of all this. So we've done the fixtures. Daniel Farke, let me just get rid of the screens. I've got so many screens open right now. Okay, so here we are. Let's go. Rotherham away. Sorry, Rotherham at home, I should say, at the Fortress, when we've not been beaten. We are looking to continue, looking to continue and keep these all green. And listen, from a fan's point of view, I fully expect to. The players obviously know it. You know, Danny Farke said that they're not getting beat by much. Even if they do get beat, it's by 1 or 2 goals. They've been getting a lot of draws. That's what he has to say. But we should be going into this game rolling with confidence. We are currently third, with a brilliant win streak going. Let me scroll all the way down. This is Rotherham. I'm sorry, people. 29 games, 3 wins. I don't want to be hearing any hiccups. Now, it's not out the realm of possibility that upsets can happen, of course, but undefeated at home, playing the way that we're playing right now, this should be a 3-point banker. It should be a 3-point banker. As long as everybody does what they're supposed to, get some more shots on target, please. And we should be walking away with 3 points in this one. And I know that sounds very basic, but sometimes football is that simple. You know, there's no point trying to do gymnastics here with Rotherham and say they could do this, they could do that. They've got a wily old team of championship experience in there. We have a young, fresh team with a good attack and a solid defensive structure. Fully expect Ampadu and everyone else to come back in. Be interested to see I think Connor Roberts will probably come on a sub, in all fairness. I think Archie Gray starts at right back. We keep the midfield as it is. No, we should be winning this one. Yeah, Mike, need to start finishing our chances. This is a good opportunity to let the floodgates open. It absolutely is. I don't think it will, though, Mike. Just from what we've done, and even Plymouth, when we won 4-1, that was because of an own goal that got the 4th one. I think it would probably ended 3 otherwise. But yes, absolutely, we should be looking to win this one, and there shouldn't be any issues. I'm gonna put my score prediction, and I've got 3-0 in mind, so I'm gonna go with 3-0, people. We keep a clean sheet. We keep a clean sheet. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to go with another clean sheet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, 3-0. What's everyone saying in the chat? And then obviously put your comments in. Sorry, your score prediction in the comments below. Karen saying 3-0. Ian here saying score 4 before halftime. We can relax like we always do. Yeah. Jamie saying 3-1. Darren saying 2-0. Yeah. 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 Anyone going for a Rotherham win by any chance? 4-0 David. John here, 5-0. Yep. Mr. Ripper, 4-0. 3-0 Jonathan, 4-0 Enzio. Yeah, yeah. Mike saying, I think 3-0 is letting the floodgates open. Yeah. Gordon 3-0. Radaby leads. If we ever do this, I would absolutely love it, Radaby, but I just don't see it happening with Daniel Farke. I think he would find that disrespectful. Yeah. I don't know. Sly going 4-0, James 4-0. So yeah, I think everyone pretty much feels confident. It's not saying that it's a slam dunk, but as fixtures go, undefeated at home, a strong Leeds United team against bottom of the table Rotherham. Come on, we should be keeping the momentum up. Yeah. But direct here, I can see this. You know, they're a bit of a brute of a team. Yeah, 2-1 concede off a set piece, which is more than, you know, we all know attacking and defending set pieces is a major Achilles heel for us, big time. You know, our set pieces are just so basic and ordinary, it hurts at times. But defending them as well sometimes isn't the prettiest. But yeah, if we're going to concede, it's going to be something like that, isn't it? Yeah, and Darren here, we may as well give up if we can't take care of Rotherham at home. Yeah, I hear you, Darren. So yeah, that is the preview. That is what the news for today. I've put the match reaction link for tomorrow's game in the description already. So you want to join me after the game there, we can talk through the match then. Like the video, people, subscribe and drop your comments below, and I'll see you tomorrow, people. Peace out.